Thanks to the support as a channel member, Ian White. Well, if all goes to plan, by the end of this episode, we should, can I say should? We could be in the Champions League final and invincible in the Premier League. That would be a good episode. Let's hope it turns out like that. Hi, and welcome to Club 3, part 13 of Non-League to Legend. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have, we don't really know. I know I'm definitely playing the second leg of the Champions League quarter-final against Atletico. Assuming we win that, we'll also then do probably the second leg of whatever the semi-final ends up being and call it a day. But in amongst all of that, there is still the possibility we could win the Premier League. And I should probably show you a trophy lift when that happens. As you can see, we are on a nice little winning streak at the moment and don't really have any significant challenge left in the Premier League other, I guess, than Chelsea on the last day. We're 5 points clear, but City still have a game in hand on us, but we have a much better goal difference. And crucially, we are still unbeaten. So we have the possibility to pull off that invincible season, which the LOLLUJO historians will have to double check, but I don't think I've ever done before in a YouTube series. So that would be quite exciting. But priority one, as we've mentioned before, is winning the Champions League. And I'm also starting to look ahead at a potential Club World Cup, which won't be this summer. So I guess we're doing it. We're not leaving Man United this season, regardless of what happens. Yeah, the Club World Cup is next summer. I am taking this team to the Club World Cup. What I won't do, assuming we win the Premier League and the Champions League this season, we'll probably do next season in just like one episode, just to get us, I'll like summarize the transfers and show you how we got on, and then go straight to the Club World Cup and potentially try and pick up an international job as well. And then we'll decide what we're going to do when we've done that, because a lot will depend on a Football Manager 2025 release date, which at the time of recording we still don't have. And I'm very calm about it. Very, very calm. I'd like to think you now know the date. If you don't, I'm very afraid. But let's not worry about that. Let's play Atletico, and this is a team we are sending out there. Oh, by the way, from the first leg, we are 4-2 up. So we're looking strong, but Atletico will probably be feeling quite good with getting 2 away goals. Not that away goals count extra in the Champions League these days, but they just have to beat us 2-0 and it's extra time. So it is doable. But this is the team. It's Canizares in goal, a back four of Eketsi, Scalvini, Memishi and Everton Antonio. Steve at the base of the midfield with Larson and Ireland ahead of him. Garnacho on the left, Moniz on the right, Ilunga up front. It's our full strength team. Let's get it submitted and let's hopefully secure a spot in that Champions League semi-final, because this season could just as easy. I've given you the upside of how this season could turn out as part of that intro. This season could very easily fall apart over the next 10 or 15 minutes if we get knocked out of the Champions League here, then lose a game in the Premier League. Even if we ended up winning the Premier League, it wouldn't be the same without the invincible season. And to be honest, if we were to lose a game, City are so close to our tails, a defeat would probably be enough to let them back in and take over. So all in all, we need to just keep winning. We've won every match for the last couple of months. We need to keep that up. There's a lovely ball from Moniz into Ilunga, and that is a hugely important goal if it's been given. Is the linesman wafting his rags around? I think he might be. It's gone to VAR, and it's been disallowed. Yeah, the linesman and VAR have combined to ruin my day. But a nice little bright start from Moniz. Ilunga needs to do better than that. He is an elite striker. He says, I know we signed him as a bit of a Kai Havertz, not really knowing his position. He's sort of an attacker, but is he a midfielder? Is he a striker? Who really I am firm now that he is a striker, and he is one of the best strikers in the world. He's second top scorer in the Premier League. He needs to stay on side. When you're getting balls like that played through to you, it's not hard just to look along the line and stay on side and time your run. He's quick enough to not need to be that far offside and still get the chances. Right, it's Eketsi to start things off again from a free kick. Steve plays it forward to Larson, and now Larson slots it into Ilunga. He does stay onside this time and applies the finish, and it is now 1-0. No question of offside on this one. It's a 30th goal of the season from Ilunga, and as I've been telling you all along, he's an elite striker. That's what you have to be to score 30 goals for a team trying to win it all. But this is good work from Larson. Lovely ball through to Ilunga, and just finds that little gap between two of the Atletico centre-backs. Menino, of course, was with us last season. There's some interesting player choices in this Atletico team. They've got Doku playing as a striker, Hinshelwood at right back, Conor Gallagher's just knocking around in there as well, and they've got Menino, Eric Garcia's playing in midfield. So they've got like 4 centre-backs. He's a defensive midfielder, isn't he? It's very odd. I don't really understand. I mean, they've got 2 wingers up front, a midfielder out there. I don't know what he is. 4 centre-backs in there. It's revolutionary. And it's got, to be fair, it's got them to the quarter-final of the Champions League. But it does seem very, like, stuck together with Pritt stick. And, like, they don't really know what they're doing. The fact that I'm talking about it like this does very much open the door to them having a massive comeback and knocking us out of the Champions League to make me look like a goose. But I will not be looking like a goose, at least in the first half of today's episode. I've decided, right, my knees is tired. Endrick can come on for him. That's always an easy change. Garnacho isn't having the best of days, so we'll bring Heilbronn on that left-hand side. We're trying to get more and more game time into him, and Steve can come off for Gavi. That's another very easy substitution to make. And hopefully we just see the game out. Gavi, who's now lost his spot in the starting 11 to Larson and Steve again, and he's struggling to get back in, interestingly, is being watched by Real Madrid. He's on their wanted list. That would be... It probably wouldn't go down very well with the Barcelona fans to sell him to us, and then a year later he turns up at Manchester United, turns up at Real Madrid just as he's hitting his prime. He does have Barcelona listed as one of his favourite clubs, so I'd be surprised if he went to Madrid. But I guess Barcelona don't want him. And if he can't get into our team and wants to go back to Spain, I mean, he could go and play right back for this lot. Oh, that's absolute insanity for Miketsi. And this is us opening the door to them getting back in the game, isn't it? Right, we are going to take... I mean, does it destroy Heilbronn's confidence if I take him off here? Because I think we probably go Ilunga and Endrick up front and bring on a left back. I mean, we're destroying the poor boy, but Ayala's coming on at left back. Heilbronn's been on the pitch 1 minute, maybe, and Aketsi's ruined his day. But we're going to do this. And in fact, we might even do this. We can play Ilunga in what is actually his natural position, and Endrick can play up front on his own. I mean, we don't really have any width. But Everton, Antonio and Ayala can both get forward and provide that width, and it just keeps that midfield strong. Obviously, Atletico have got a lot going on in midfield, got a lot of midfielders on the pitch. We don't want to gift them the middle of the pitch. We can just leave Endrick up front doing his thing. Ilunga in Ireland will get up there and support him when they can. And, I mean, Atletico have got to score 3 goals in 15 minutes just to take this to extra time. So I'd like to think we're not combusting. That would be nice. Canizares doing good work to pluck the ball out of the sky there. And we have got one more substitution we can make. Larson is the guy who's tired. So I think we probably bring Mainu on for him as the slightly more defensive central midfield option. We've got Sudakov there as well. But I think Mainu probably makes the most sense in this scenario. So we get him on and hopefully just see the game out. I mean, there's 4 minutes to go. I think we've successfully shut the game down after an absurd red card. I mean, it was violent conduct. It was insane. He's tackled him waist high with his legs. And, I mean, we've got away with it. That's the important thing. We're into the semi-final. And now we're going to play an imaginary team in the semi-final. How are they doing in Italy? They're 6th in Serie A. That should be a bit of a gimme. Although Thomas Tuchel, always a frustrating man to play against. But we'll play these Premier League games off camera unless we get to one where we can win the league, in which case we'll come back for that. Otherwise, I'm aiming to be back for the second leg against Lazio and then show you in the next episode the Champions League final and the Premier League trophy lift. That's if everything goes according to the script, is what is going to happen. Well, we're not doing an invincible season because we're a bunch of bottle jobs. We lost against West Ham. We drew against Brighton. We have recovered with a 6-0 win over Ipswich, which means the Premier League table looks like this. We've got 2 games to play. City have 3. They're only 2 points behind us. They've also already qualified for the Champions League final, having won their semi-final. Manchester City could yet get in our way and prevent us from winning anything this season, which would be a disaster after the money we've spent and the season we've had. We did beat Lazio 4-1 in the first leg of this semi-final, so fingers crossed getting to the final should be a formality. This is the team. Canizares in goal, a back four of Ketsi, Scalvini, Mamishi and Everton Antonio, Steve, Larson and Ireland in midfield, Garnacho and Maniz out wide, Ilunga up front. You know who the best team is now. It's that one. We just need to keep winning with it. Probably should have played it in that game against West Ham where we rotated a lot, because we were coming off the back of the Atletico game, and it did not go to plan. We were pretty I mean, we had 2 games in a row where we were just completely toothless in attack, which wasn't ideal in the circumstances, and has very much opened that door to Manchester City. I don't know if there'll be a greater bottle job in the history of Football Manager YouTube than this one if we manage to not win anything this season. When we got so close to an invincible season, we're still top of the league as we hit May, and we've dominated every second of the Champions League, including the semi-final that we're now 5-1 up in. But Manchester City are there. They're lurking. They're very, very good. Erling Haaland is scoring a stupendous amount of goals, and we need him to just get old and retire, really. But unfortunately, he's not old enough and retiree enough to do that yet. So I may have tempted the Football Manager gods with my talk of my plans for next season, because obviously if we win nothing this year, we got to do another season and actually not be bottle jobs next time. Oh, no. That wouldn't be ideal. I think just getting to the final is enough to get us into the Club World Cup. I don't think we have to win the Champions League to qualify for the Club World Cup, because that Club World Cup is crucial. I'm fairly confident I've never won it in any version of Football Manager, and it would be a nice way to end FM24 with a Club World Cup win. And I think if I was ever going to have a squad capable of doing it, surely it's this one, especially with another year of improving this squad as well. We've already got a few wonder kids lined up to join us in the summer, which I'll introduce you to in the transfer special in a few days' time. You don't need to worry about transfers and whatnot today. Today is all about what's going on the pitch. I'll let the director of football worry about off the pitch stuff. I've the ones that are coming in, I literally just set them as transfer targets and let the director of football do his thing. So he's negotiated prices, he's negotiated salaries and all that kind of stuff. My full focus is on winning us some trophies this season, because as it stands, we already can only equal last season's trophy total. We won 3 trophies last year. We've already got a Community Shield this year. We need another 2 trophies to do another treble. And you know we like doing trebles, but Manchester City have got their eye on one as well. And I imagine it's quite fun being a football fan in Manchester at this point of the future. Probably quite a lot going on, quite a lot of local rivalry. They're the 2 best teams in the world by miles. And Ilunga has just missed an absolute sit-out whilst being offside. Erling Haaland doesn't do that. That could end up being the difference between the 2 teams once we get to the end of the season. Us not having a real out-and-out striker. We had Gyökeres, we had Samu. We decided we didn't want either of them. We'd go with Ilunga. And by and large, he's not let us down. He has developed that little habit of missing big chances here and there. And I don't care for it, boys and girls. And that is a very marginal offside decision as well. We were very close to letting Lazio back into this game, and that would not be ideal. I would prefer not to let them back in if it's all the same to you. But it is Lazio starting things off, trying to play the ball out from the back, failing miserably. Ilunga wins the ball back and does a football goal. See, that stuff, there's no one better than him. Haaland doesn't do that. That is an Ilunga goal. That's an Ilunga trademark. He is incredible in that kind of situation. It's when you get the crosses into him, when you slot the through, when he has to react quickly, when he's got time to think and pick his spot. I've compared him to Thierry Henry before, and he looked like Thierry Henry again there. The problem is when a cross is whipped into the penalty area, he's more Havertz than Henry, and I've compared him to Havertz before as well. So he's got a little bit of both in him. And I'd rather he had more Henry if it's all the same you. Right, Maniz is taking a bit of a knock, so Hendrick can come on for him. Steve's going to come off for Gavi. We're also going to take off Larson and bring on Mainu in midfield. 3 relatively easy changes to make as we look to just cruise through to a Champions League final against Manchester City, we've definitely had an easier route. I think they played Real Madrid in their semi-final. We've obviously not played anyone any good, really, on our run, which has been jolly nice for us, but does mean that we've not been tested properly in any competition, really, since we last played City. We've got quite an easy Premier League run in, which we've still got the potential to bottle with that Chelsea game on the last day. And we've had quite an easy route to the Champions League final with Atletico and Lazio. I hope we don't mess things up in the next episode, but we definitely have the potential to do it. And Ilunga is going to miss that run in as well. So it's all on Hendrik to score the goals. The next episode's going to be a big one, boys and girls. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.